Welcome back, guys, to another video. This topic is going to be about uh, what's going on in Colorado. I'm going to do more videos about some recent information that I just came across, and I'm moving to the beat of my own drum, meaning that I don't care what was already put out. If it's new to me, it's new to me, and I'm going to give it out as if it's new to me. So if I'm giving you information that you already know about, and you're like, "Oh, that's old news," that's fine. But it's new to me when I came upon it. So I've read certain things about what's going on with Shador and Coach Prime. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later. I have the article. I don't have the article with me right now, but when I do talk about Shador, I'm going to read the article and break that down. You guys know how I like to do that. I love doing that because I'm taking text, I'm taking literature, I'm taking words, and I'm breaking them down and telling you how sometimes narratives or stories that are written by the means of media, by print media, can oftentimes sway our perspectives. And we have to remain grounded and try as much as we can to remain objective. So that's what I'm going to do. But this video that I'm making here, it's more so about the assumptions that people are making about Coach Prime in Colorado. And this is more so leaning to the negative assumptions. And to the people that are saying these things, some of them are on my channel. They leave comments. They say things like it's a circus, it's a reality show, and I've even mentioned certain things like that. I'm like, it could become a circus, it could become a reality show. It's like a reality show because of all the cameras. But I'm gonna implore you as an audience to take a journey with me in this video to try to look at the different motive as to why Coach Prime is doing what he's doing. This video is not being done to defend him, but I really want you guys to understand that everyone has a different cultural lens that they're looking through, okay? And in the quote-unquote black culture, there are certain things that we do that are frowned upon in other cultures, but we don't frown upon them because it's something that we are accustomed to and something that we've learned to endear close to our hearts, meaning that it's part of us. We don't want to marginalize something that's part of us. We don't want to cast it aside as if it's not important, and we don't want to whitewash it. When I say whitewash it, it means that you hate yourself and you hate your culture, and you're trying to amalgamate yourself to the white culture. So, you hear the people say things like, "Oh, he's talking white." No, it's not about talking white or talking black. It's just speaking in a cadence that's more comfortable with you. There's certain things that go on in the quote-unquote hood, and there's certain things that go on in the corporate world and then you can't try to force the hood inside corporate world, because the power of the corporate world is much more powerful than the power of the hood. So therefore, you're left with no choice but to conform to the corporate world in order to, keep your sanity and keep your living, in order for you to function in society. Why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because people see life through their own personal cultural lens. This means that Coach Prime is not one of one. Coach Prime is just one of many. He just happens to be one that made it as an athlete, as a TV personality, and now he's coaching a Power 5 school, a Colorado University. A lot of people have their opinions about what Coach Prime is doing, including me. But I think that the things that he's doing, I don't really think, and I'm just going off of the comments that I've read, I don't think that he thinks it's a circus. I don't think he thinks he's doing anything wrong. And to me, that's the sad part about this analysis that I'm giving. It's analogous to a person who's ill, or a person who has a mental disease, but that person doesn't think that they have a disease. They don't feel like they're ill. They think that everything that they're doing is normal, and it's not my problem. It's your problem for perceiving me with a problem. So it's your problem, not mine. I'm good. And I think that stance that Coach Prime has is going to be to his detriment. That's why I said I'm not defending him. I'm just saying that from his cultural lens, from the way that he's always done things, that's why he's running Colorado University the way he's running it. I don't think he knows any better. That's just the way he thinks it's supposed to be. Coach Prime believes that he's bringing in a certain degree of nuance to Colorado and bringing a certain degree of nuance to college football. Will this project work? Will this Coach Prime experiment work at Colorado? Well, that's yet to be seen. Recent news, I read the title of an article. I didn't read the article in depth. The article stated that Coach Prime sees himself staying in Colorado for the long haul for at least 10 years. So that goes against my notion that I didn't think he was even going to stay out his first contract. I've been on record saying this a lot on my videos. I've been on record saying that I didn't believe that he would even stay the first 5 years of his contract. So, but that's yet to be seen. You know, many people say one thing, but we'll see if he actually stays in Colorado for 10 years. If Colorado allows him to stay for 10 years, because I'm telling you, if he doesn't produce championships and doesn't produce that dominant brand that he said he was going to do, or that he said he was going to bring to Colorado, if that doesn't happen, if that does not materialize as he continues to coach year by year, then I can see Colorado getting rid of him. Especially if they're not filling seats, if the revenue decreases significantly, they'll get him out. It's a money game. It's a political thing. Politics and money are tied together as one. It's an unholy matrimony in my estimation. So Coach Prime doesn't know what he doesn't know. A lot of people look up to athletes. We idolize them to a certain degree, not knowing that these people are normal people. The power that they have, the power that they have is the power that we give them. So if they're popular, it's because we make them popular. If they're rich, it's because we make them rich. You say how? Well, we love entertainment, so entertainers are rich because what we give attention to is what's valued by the society. If no one cared about sports, if no one cared about competition, athletes wouldn't get paid. But people are paying top dollar to go to these games. And then you have certain people that open up doors for athletes to feed an agenda, to push a narrative. They'll pay the athlete. The athlete will get compensated for his actions, for his behavior. But on the back end and on the front end, there are other things that are going on outside the athlete, that's outside the athlete's purview of control. He can't control those things. It's outside his locus of control. So he can only control being a coach. And I believe that the European, the Caucasian that gave Coach Prime a chance to come to Colorado and trusted Coach Prime, I forgot the guy's name, he didn't bring Coach Prime just to coach a football team so they can be more dominant. He understood the personality he was getting. These people do their research before they hire somebody, folks. They extensive. Okay, he's hired other African American coaches before, and I hate using African American and black, but I have to use that so you guys can understand who I'm talking about. Because we're not black and we're not really African American, but that's neither here nor there. That's a subject for another day. This athletic director or whatever his name is for Colorado, he's hired other black coaches before. So it's not a race thing. It's a money thing. And they understood the level of attention that Coach Prime would bring to Colorado. So if it makes sense, then it makes sense. If it makes sense, like money, then it makes sense. So that's why he's there. Colorado University will tolerate the circus right now because it's generating a lot of attention. It's generating a lot of revenue. Colorado seems to be the talk of college football. Everything that they do is put on media print. People are following them. There's social media channels that are devoted to Colorado University due to Coach Prime's emergence at that university as a coach. So we understand that. But I think that Coach Prime in his heart of hearts thinks that he's doing things the right way. And that's the treacherous thing about this. That's the sad aspect. He thinks that he's he's pulling this program out of the ground, but little does he know that he's pushing it back in. Recently, there's some antics from the son that I do not like from Shador. It's starting to show his immaturity. A lot of people were praising him. Oh, he's Shador. He's mature. I call him grown. Remember, Coach Prom says he calls his son in his cell phone. He programmed Shador's name as grown. But a lot of the things that he does doesn't show me a kid that's grown. He does a lot of immature things. So you see how the cultural lens can cause a fragmentation in how we view things analytically, to how we analyze things. See, through the lens of Coach Prime, through the lens of his culture, the way he grew up, he perceives his son as grown. He sees that the things that his son does, Shador, he sees him as grown with a mature mindset. But that's all subjective because you're his dad. Based upon the actions that we see of him, doing the Shador, calling out an ex-teammate, and then the father co-signing what the son said, it shows me that they're two peas in the pod, like father, like son. So of course the father is going to view his son as mature because the father deems everything that the son is doing as correct, as appropriate, because the father is backing the son up. So if the father doesn't view himself as being immature, if the father views the things that he does as being good, as being something that's nuanced, bringing in a fresh perspective to college football, I'm bringing new energy, I'm bringing, I'm killing the old tradition, I'm coming in on the front end of this NIL stuff that's going on. If that's his perspective, then if his son is acting out in ways that doesn't show any growth, that shows immaturity, and the father co-signs it, then it means that they're one and the same. So why will I say that my son's not mature when he's thinking and doing things like me, but on a younger level? There are times that Coach Prom vacillates between I'm an older man and then I'm going to be young and ignorant. That he does that. He goes up and down. He plays that. What he does very well is that he can play the old wise man that's been there, done that, but he can also play the role of the hip older guy that can relate to the younger men that he's coaching. He can relate to the youth. He can kind of get to their level. But you have to be careful when you get down to the level of youth, because you end up acting like a youth at your older age, which ultimately will make you look incompetent, which will also equate to you having a program that's being ran like a circus. So I don't believe that Coach Prime thinks that what he's doing is wrong. Now I think that's the tragic part about all of this. It's a tragedy. And I think that in years to come, we're going to look back at this and say, hey, you remember when Coach Prime coached at Colorado? Man, it was crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Nothing this flashy ends well, folks. It's not going to end well. I don't think it would end well. I hope I'm proven wrong, but I'm looking at, no one taught me this. A lot of people, when they say things, they're like, my mama taught me this. No, my mom didn't teach me this. My dad didn't teach me this. The ancestral power and the ancestral energy that flows within my aura has taught me this. Lineage, DNA, epigenetics. It comes from a line of kings and queens and gods. Like we all have the capacity to think deeper than what's on the surface. No one taught me this. In life, you have to look at the micro aspects of life, the small things that people overlook, because people are so predicated on looking at the bigger picture. But before the bigger picture is painted, there have to be little details that are etched on the canvas to actually create that portrait. When I'm looking at the little sketches that are being done to create that's going to inevitably create that big portrait that we see of Coach Prime in the future, I'm seeing small little concerns that, to me as an adult, I'm like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. This not. If you are about football, it's not good. It goes back to what I've always said. If you're about branding and if you're about making money and football is kind of like last on the priority list, then I understand that. But I want the audience. I want the people who are blindly supporting Prime without any objectivity or without any iota of criticism towards anything that he does. If they see that everything that he does is just is great and excellent, then number one, there's no room for growth when you have that type of mentality. And number two, I mean, what do you think is going to come out of it if you don't critique somebody? Because you don't grow, and definitely the person that you're critiquing won't grow. And it's not even about Coach Prime growing. It's about us as individuals seeing things from a broader perspective, and having a more cerebral approach in how we view things, and leaving our emotions at the back. It's not about how you feel about him. Yeah, he's cool. He talks cool. We all want him to succeed, but I can compartmentalize and put that to the side, and look at his behavior, look at his actions, look at what he says. And the things that I see happening are not going to be conducive to success. Right now, it's a circus because everyone's talking about it. And I think people are driven by their emotions. But when the product is put out there on the football field, we're going to start to see why those players left. We're going to see players going to start talking about their experiences with Coach Prime. And it's not because they're hating. For everyone who keeps saying they're just hating, no. People will speak their truth. It's not hating. You owe it to your own conscience to be truthful to yourself. This idea that you're hating somebody because you're saying something that goes against what the populace thinks of that person it's incredibly stupid and foolish. It's jaded. It's a jaded way of thinking, if you ask me. It doesn't even it allows you not to think. You hating. Tell me why. What hateful thing have I said? Oh, you're just mad because Coach Prime is successful and you're not. What's success? I mean, success is subjective. It's based upon anybody's metric. I mean, success could be being rich. Success could be meaning having a job and being out of jail for some people. It just depends on where you are at. So it's not about that. I don't care about how much money Coach Prime has in his bank account. I don't care how rich and famous he is. I'm talking about him as a football coach. And I'm comparing him to the way other football coaches move. It's very uncanny the way he does things. It's not, and it's not because it's different. You can be different and still be productive. It's different and it's destructive. But the destruction you don't see yet. It's like the kid who keeps stuffing themselves with sugar. And then years later, you end up having diabetes. The damage doesn't come now. Right now, it's all hype. He's going into his second year, joining the Big 12. He's getting all these transfers from the transfer portal. Let's see if they can have team chemistry and team unity. But to me, I've already told you guys that there's a clear divide in that locker room. It's Coach Prime and the haves, and everybody else, the have-nots. The haves are Travis Hunter, Shador, and Shiloh. And his brand, of course. Okay? But yeah, I don't believe that Coach Prime knows that what he's doing is going to be catastrophic. I don't think he's deliberately going in there to fail. He thinks that what he's doing is going to succeed. But he has everything inverted. He has everything backwards. He's thinking of brand first, football second. It's supposed to be football first, and the brand is built off of football. The brand is football, not you. But he's too big. I told you guys before, he's too big for Colorado. He's too big for Colorado. He's too big for college football. His personality is too big. And then you add the fact that he's coaching his son who's supposed to be one of the best players on the team. It's a recipe for disaster because of Coach Prime's personality and his unwillingness to bend, because he has this idea that I'm going to be unapologetically black. Like, what the hell does that mean? Like, no one's telling you not to be who you are. But that's a sign of stubbornness. So you have to inject and insert the element of race to awaken people to get real sensitive about the subject, and then people back off of you because they don't want to make it seem like they're being racist. So they're going to allow you to do what you want to do. But do you know being allowed to do what you want to do can also be a recipe for your own disaster, because there are no guidelines. There are no boundaries set for you. You're just doing what you want to do. I'm apologetically black. Don't let my confidence affect your insecurity, or whatever he says. That little quote that he likes to say, don't let my confidence affect your insecurities, or whatever he says. I mean, come on, like, you're full of yourself. No one, personally, I can speak for myself. I don't care about your confidence. I'm being very simple and basic. I'm just talking about your practice, your praxis, your theory about coaching, and your practice, your practices, your praxis, Praxis. Praxis means your philosophy behind something. His philosophy behind coaching is not conducive to success. It's cool, it sounds good, but you're seeing the end products occurring. The end product of his praxis and his practice are being shown to you when these players are leaving and coaches are leaving after his first year. If you guys can't see that, then you're willfully blind. You're purposely just closing your eyes and you don't want to see it, because you're seeing with this. You don't want to see with this and this. You don't want to see with your eyes and your brain. So you're gonna shut off your brain and close your eyes and try to follow your heart because you like Coach Prime. Nah, that's how you end up in the ditch, guys. You have to open your damn eyes and use logic. I mean, we were given a brain for a reason, folks. It'll be kind of nice if you can apply it. Look at the end product. Look at the seeds. When a person plants a seed, something is grown. The product is what was planted. The product of these players leaving, and these players are going to start talking. Players that you didn't think that would talk are going to start talking. And it's not going to be what you guys think. It's not going to be, oh, Lord, it was the greatest thing I ever had. Trust me. Trust me. All right? So stay tuned. I'm going to be reading an article about what Shador did. Another article about Prime. I'm going to be breaking those down later on in the day. If I don't do it today, I'll probably do it tomorrow. All right? I had a little break, so I decided to just do this video. But thank you guys for indulging me for about 21 minutes. And yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on what I hear. Not that I'm keeping you guys posted, because anyone who listens to me already knows probably more than me. But you guys like to tune in to hear my breakdowns and my analysis of what I think. So I'm not bringing you any news. I'm not a news reporter. I'm more so of a reviser of things that have already happened. So I'm a reviser of current events. Pretty much that's what I do. If something happens, and something could happen a week ago. If I just heard it now, it's new to me, and I'm going to talk about it. And if you don't want to hear about it, that's fine. But I'm going to actually talk about things that are new to me and share it with you guys so you guys can get my perspective. And I like to also hear you guys' take on it as well. Leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think. And I'll be back with another video later. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.